Just go to look for KTC Shock Joxx. That's JOXX, Shock Joxx. Kept by KTC Broadcasting. Shelby Heating Air, Saturday Sports Talk. All right, let's get into the NBA playoffs to wrap up or here in the middle of the second round. No matter what happens in tonight's games, guys, all 4 series will be 2-1.
Yeah, sure will.
So after all that fussing and fighting, after all this, no matter what happens tonight, every series will be 2-1. After last night's games, Philadelphia beat Miami, and what
pretty handily.
What's crazy about that one, of course, is look that Miami score in the regular season. Are you winning a game with 99 points, Terry?
More than likely not.
I mean, think about this. At one point,
it changes real quick, don't it?
Golden State just a couple weeks ago scored 75 points in like a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean.
Embiid made a big difference in last night's game. I mean, just him coming back, a presence in the middle for Philadelphia. Miami didn't have free pass.
It makes a difference having someone 7'2" that
he's like a monster, you know? I mean, he's huge.
You know,
I mean, he really is
to defend him.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're mailing it in for most of the regular season because it's so long, and then playoffs is different. We all know that, you know.
I always sit back, and this is me, and that's where I'm starting to hate regular season in any of the pro sports that we got. If you just play close to 500, you're going to have a chance.
And do you think they're doing that? Is that a fair assessment? Like, okay, it don't really matter where what seed we get here because let's just kind of mail it in, have a little bit of fun, and tighten it up when we get to the playoffs.
Obviously, they don't care anymore as far as that. My thing has always been, as far as that goes, regular season is these guys getting paid too much money to hustle.
Oh, I agree.
You can't pay Cody Zeller $10 million to be the back. You can't pay the backup center $10 million. Like, his job is to run into people and risk his body and block shots and foul people. If you're giving him $10 million, then all of a sudden it comes game day. Oh, my knee's a little sore. I mean, think about it. You could lose $10 million on a knee bruise.
Yeah.
So, like, once you pay them that the risk of them getting injured isn't worth them hustling.
Is it worth it anymore? Because, I mean, that's when I sit back and I think guys who come from Carolina, Tyler Hansbrough. Is that how come he couldn't make it in the NBA? Because he only had one mode, and that was full blast.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm 100%.
Saying? I agree. They didn't want to play him. He would come in the game. He would play hard, and people would like make fun of him for playing hard and stuff. And I'm like,
that's
just the way he is.
That's who he is.
Terry, I know you don't want to hear it, but his per game 48 numbers, 36 exact time numbers are the exact same numbers. When rebounding wise is who was it? No, I gotta go look that up. I'll get back to you on that one. But his numbers actually weren't as bad as what you're saying, as everybody said. Is that, like, you're right? You got a guy that's hustling and going hard, and they're not used, definitely on defense, they're not used to people playing like that anymore. No.
And then all of a sudden he comes down, and my Lord, I got to pick it up a notch just to be with him.
I mean, that's this score right here is a 90s, 80s, 90s,
it is.
79. I mean, that's what, you would look at the Bulls when they won their championship. There was a lot of 79, 85 game,
Well, what happens is you get in the playoffs. Well, you get in the playoffs. Some of these teams, they don't want to play like the Phoenix Suns and just shoot as quick as they can.
You look at, Kyle Lowry. He was horrible last night.
So looking at the Heat's lineup, like PJ Tucker, he's not going to get any points. And Kyle Lowry's hit or miss.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry might get you 30 one game and 0 the next.
He only shot 4 times. Bam is not a scorer.
No.
He's an athlete. I don't even know who Struss is. So Duncan Robinson didn't play.
You got Oladipo on the bench and Hero.
Oladipo is probably your best athlete out there on the team. He only had 6 points in 21 minutes, and then Tyler Hero. So they had nothing last night for Philadelphia at all. Philadelphia,
Miami, you mean?
Yeah, Miami had nothing for Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. I thought you said okay.
But the Sixers, they only got 99. It's not like they just
smoked them.
Outshot them out to gym. Danny Green had a good night, but he only gave up 79. But he were awful.
I mean, think about your shooting: 4 out of 13, 5 out of 12. I mean, now
Danny Green was hot. I mean, but that's him. I mean, he might come in and be hot.
So you ever heard of the stat per 36 minutes? It's basically saying what you could average if you were actually got starters minutes. Hansbrough, this is career, so it's not even like his best numbers, right? This is career average. Per 36 minutes, 14-9. And he never got any get to play. And that's what he averaged. Think about it. You're a coach. You put him in. He averages basically 14-9 while he's in there, and you still don't let him play.
I mean, I agree.
It was weird.
I mean,
it was really weird to me. So his second year in the league, Terry, he per 36 minutes, he's averaged 18-9. In his first year in Toronto, he averaged a double per 36 minutes, 11-11. I mean, hey, let's say again, NBA stats. We'll look up the rebound leaders this year and see how many they got a game, just to see where he would have ranked. In his career, Terry, he's at, in 36 minutes, it would be 9. His best was 10.6. So that would rank anywhere from 6th to 10th in the NBA if he got starters minutes.
And never really had a chance.
Never.
And he was on a team that he could have played. I mean, with Indiana,
Charlotte.
Yeah. I mean,
he got 1 year in Charlotte. Never played
but the Indiana thing. I mean, he was a good role player for them. I mean,
had 4 years in Indiana. The actual averages in Indiana was like he averaged 9 and 5.
How many minutes did they give him?
19 a game. So you can easily double it and see that he'd get 18. You can have 18 and 10 a night, and you don't want it.
Yeah,
but again, I think they're mailing it in through the year. I think they tighten it up a little bit in the playoffs. And
what happened to him, I think, is what happened to Anton Jameson, but slightly different. So Hansbrough came in when everybody they wanted was to shoot. They wanted the fours to shoot threes, right? That's all they wanted. So he's in this area where that's all they wanted. Jameson came into the league where they were switching from making the fours work on the post to making them shoot. So they moved him when they moved him to small forward, I was like, he cannot play Vince Carter. He cannot play the same position as Vince Carter. And they did their best to make that work. That they shoved it. He had a good career. He averaged like 22 a game. But they just put him they put him at small forward. I never saw that. He had the best touch around the basket of any Tar Heel I think I've ever seen, just touch wise. He would if he gets you on the post, that little baby hook, you couldn't do nothing with it.
Not even that though. On a putback rebound, he wouldn't never rebound. He would actually touch it and then drop it.
They would just have him
knock it in.
I think the NBA played him and Hansbrough out of position. They moved. They wanted Hansbrough to. They just sit him on the bench because he wasn't shooting threes as opposed to getting 19. But anyway, that's here and there. The other series, we've got last night Dallas evens the series up against Phoenix, and then tonight both games are 1-1 in those series.
I think Boston plays 3:30.
They're both actually. That's what I was about to say, Terry.
Yeah, and
today I actually get to watch playoff basketball.
Yeah, I was going to ask if anybody was
on ABC today.
I can't pick up ABC.
You can't pick up Channel 9?
No.
I'm getting them on. I get them on 9/5.
I'll try that.
There's like a couple different things, but it's 9-5.
Who's playing on it? Boston?
My 9-1 don't come in. Boston and Memphis. Boston and Milwaukee is at 3:30. Memphis and Golden State is at 8:30.
How much are tickets? I can't see it.
66 for Boston, 230 for Golden State. That's as low. That's the lowest price. $230. See Steph Curry in the playoffs against Memphis Grizzlies. Dallas and Phoenix last night. Dallas wins. Booker played though.
Yeah, he's played the whole series.
All 5 starters for Phoenix were in double figures. The 2-man show of the Dallas Mavericks is still hanging on like a hair on a biscuit with Brunson and Doncic. Brunson led them in scoring last night though with 28 points. He's one of those. He's like Van Vliet, isn't he? Like
from Toronto.
He might get 10 every night, and then every third or fourth night
he
gets 30. What are you doing?
Like a B- player,
like
where he might show up and you might get everything, and then next time you might get a C out of him.
So they're I don't know when the next game is in this series. Dallas is
probably Monday.
We'll be at home. I guess I
could be Sunday.
I guess I could click back twice for our folks.
Probably Sunday. You usually play every other day.
Pulling that up. All right. They will be playing Sundays, Zach. So they played Friday, this Sunday. So they're trying to get 2 games a day. It looks like the schedule's got it set up like that for 2 games a day the rest of the week. So there shouldn't be no more ones or missed games coming up on the schedule. Either one of you got Phoenix upsetting Golden State? Is that the only win they get? Are they going to get to 6 games?
Phoenix? You mean
Memphis?
Memphis?
Mm-hmm.
Memphis could have taken game 1, and John Morant missed a layup at the end of the game and lost by 1. So
Yeah.
they could be up 2-1, but Golden State is the better team. Memphis has got a big hitter in John Morant, though. He can put 50 on you.
Well, we talked about that game before, and we talked about critical free throws missed. Klay Thompson went to the line.
Yeah,
with
what's his all-time free throw percentage? He's one of them 90%ers, is he not?
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, he missed 2 and gave
missed 2 at the very end of the game.
A chance.
I don't know his exact at all, but
I'm gonna say he's at least mid at high 80s.
Oh yeah, I got the stat of the night, the Twitter and its stats. Here's the most random stat ever that means nothing. Y'all ready for this one? And I just saved it because it was just stupid that somebody has a job to tweet this out, Terry. Matisse Thybulle has now tied Hersey Hawkins for 18th. Wait a minute. You don't even know what I'm about to say. In the all-time playoffs blocks list.
18th.
Should that even be anybody's job to put out there? Matisse Thybulle tied Hersey Hawkins for 18th on the team's playoff all-time blocks list, Terry.
Good job. Now, if you had moved into the top 10, okay.
That's still not a story.
18th.
It's still not a story.
But not 18th.
The thing about it, who's sitting around Zach wondering, I wonder who's got the most blocks in Sixers playoff history. I want to know the top 20, not the top 10, Terry. I need the top 20.
On a specific team, not overall.
Yeah, just Sixers.
That's even worse.
Yes. It's an NBA, top NBA data live.
Well, some people keep up with teams.
He must be one of those.
I wonder if that's a computer that did.
But I'm not looking at your bottom 11 through 20s and on.
What?
18th, they tweeted. So, but again, if you're tweeting about the 18th, does that mean we're going to get a tweet now about when he ties 17, 16, 15?
Why wouldn't you?
The guy should be fired if he doesn't, right?
I see it. Everybody should know he'll
You've got 17 more of these tweets coming for you, boss man. What a stat. What our most random stat in the world.
Great job.
Just pull a name right out of the hat. I ain't heard in years, though. Hersey Hawkins.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what's funny about it. Who's thinking of Hersey Hawkins' block stats?
Of all the things that he can do well.
He can shoot jump.
But now give the guy credit. He knows a little bit about Philadelphia history.
I think it's a computer.
Yeah.
I think that's a bot. All right, Terry. It's time to talk about your boy, Chris Paul, and his behavior this week.
I think, what's wrong with him?
How many technicals does he get this week?
It's not the point of what technicals. They're up 2-1.
How many technicals has he got this week?
It'd be like Draymond getting technical on his end.
Right.
Misbehavior.
I've just told you from the start. Chris Paul is not a good person at all, and the way he acts around people, and I don't even know.
He'll get to move on.
Huh?
Yeah, they'll get to move on.
They might. They better. But Booker, of course, Ayton scored 25 in the first game.
Ayton's pretty good.
That was huge.
He's decent. He fits in their mode. I put it like that. He fits in the Phoenix mode of what you got to have.
Well, so Paul's probably some of his best years were in the Clippers, right? Is Ayton not probably a better?
Oh, he's way better than DeAndre.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he can jump like DeAndre.
No,
but
skills,
hand-eye coordination skills, yes.
He can't rebound like DeAndre could,
but he's good at. I don't know. He's a pretty good rebounder too.
He alters a lot of people's shots.
He's
7'2" or something. He's a big guy.
Yeah, good big body in the lane. That's what I mean for Paul, and that's what when he succeeds, he's got a big man like that and a wing. Booker is one of the best guards in the NBA. But I did want to point out, Terry, with a 2-0 series lead, Chris Paul has lost 4 times in the playoffs. 2008 to the Spurs, lost 4-3. And then 2013, 16, and then last year he had 2-0 leads and got beat 4 straight times by Memphis, Portland, and then last year Milwaukee, of course, in the NBA Finals. So that can happen. Now, this is the one I want to talk about. I heard for 5, 10 minutes, 2 weeks about Kevin Durant and his turnovers, and he had 6 in a game, Terry. Chris Paul had 7 last night.
And they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So
when you're part of the game, you cannot give it to the other team.
Right. When you're the point guard, you can't turn it over or you're going to lose every time. 7 turnovers. That's the most turnovers in a single game. Here's what's funny about it. On a player's birthday in NBA history. So Chris Paul set another.
Who looks that up?
Another
Who
record.
looks that stat
Another
up?
Record, Chris
Kevin.
Paul. I didn't look it up. It was tweeted.
It's another one of them tweets. Crazy.
That was like
random tweets.
Well, so in 2 weeks, Paul has set he set records, NBA records for that was that record, and then he had 4 points in that one game last week, and that was the first All-Star to score under 10 points in the playoffs since 2011, LeBron James. So he's already set 2 records in the past 2 weeks, playing badly, not even goodly.
We'll just end up seeing how many he's got through the whole series.
What, turnovers?
Yeah.
11.
That's what he's got right now?
Yeah.
3.
No, it might be 12. I can't. The second game was 3 or 4. First game he only had 1 turnover.
Okay, see, that's the difference because Durant had 4 and
Well,
he
they
had
didn't win
like
any
20
games.
something.
You know what else is the difference, Terry? One's a point guard,
That's true.
and the other's getting
That's true.
double teamed.
But it's the guy who has the ball in his hand a lot, though, too. You gotta remember
Durant's
that.
biggest problem, one thing I will say, he should never have the ball dribbling outside the 3-point line, and they let him run the offense.
They do.
Would you honestly, Terry, if you had a 7-footer who never missed from 10 feet away, why wouldn't you run down screens of him all day long, spin him around and post up whoever he screened, and then go from there? Would that not be your offense?
But
Just the Tar Heels secondary offense, where they run down the middle, they get to the block and turn around.
And give it to him.
That should be their play every time. And if he ends up on the 3-point line after they move the ball around, fine. But never should that dude be dribbling the ball from 40 feet away trying to make a play.
When you got Kyrie.
It's silly. Or anybody.
it's
right.
because it's because the way they play basketball today, and it's
It's
insane.
Would
It's
John
insane.
Stockton let Karl Malone dribble the
insane.
ball out there past the 3-point line like that?
No,
Where he
you
can
go
shoot 2 or
find your
not.
spot.
I
buddy.
think there's going to be a time. I know we got to go, but I know there's
No,
going
we
to be a
got
time.
a few more minutes. Just the fact that the whole Jordan thing, he would go to if someone is his size or smaller, he would run straight to the block and turn around. And then from there, you're in a heap of trouble. Once Durant, Giannis, whoever, a 7-footer that can score, Rasheed Wallace, Dirk, every one of them that got the ball that could score on the block, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And they never do that with Kevin Durant.
The more-
That's the weirdest thing about it.
The more people we get in here that's like Giannis, that might not be able to do that kind of stuff, we might start to see a little bit of go back to the way basketball was played. But football does it too. Offense, defense, the way you play your style. I would like to go back to see a traditional 5, where you got your 2 guards, your 2 forwards, and you got your staple center.
I don't mind at all shooting wide open threes and passing around and doing all that. I don't mind it. But to not have one player on your team, Terry, that can score in the post is insane to me. Like, whether it's Durant whether it's your small forward, your power forward, but to have a center out there that can't even do anything is just weird to me. And there's a reason Embiid's blowing through these guys. And
that's like Giannis. Giannis, the first game against Boston, that's what I said in here. We had 3 guys to defend him. He destroyed us in every phase in game 1. But in game 2, we readjusted. We did things different. And all of a sudden, Giannis was 11 out of 27. You cannot let this guy beat you. And in the first game, he beat us with points. He beat us with rebounds. He beat us with assists. But here's the problem. If let him do his thing, but if the guys that he's dishing to cannot hit it, that's where the game changed.
Right. Look, Giannis is playing LeBron ball right now.
Yeah.
He's taking it to the rack. And he's either going to kick it out or take it and get to the free throw line. Is what he's doing right now. And that's his game. He's 7 foot. Career free throw percentage on Giannis.
What about 65?
71 or 72%. He's better than I think LeBron's right there at that. So he might even be better than LeBron. Giannis is 72.
I would take 7 out of 10 from him. I would be okay with that. I'd want him to improve, but I would take that. He wouldn't be a Shaquille where he couldn't hit 40.
LeBron's
45 or something.
73. So, yeah, that Shaq was 58.
So there you go. As many times he touched the ball.
And that's the one thing that aggravates me when they talk about these. So they'll talk about these all-time players in today's list. If you ask anybody younger than us, Zach, LeBron and Shaq are the two best players that's ever played basketball because they're just bigger. That's their thing. That's their bigger, stronger, faster. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I saw some lists last week. They were talking about this, and they had Shaq listed ahead of Akeem Olajuwon on a lot of these. How? How can someone that smoked you twice or that just smoked you in the final swept you? You've been swept 5 times. He won 2 championships. Who? Name the second best player in the first championship the Rockets won. Terry, you was talking about the playing games not going to win 7 or 8.
It would Maxwell probably.
You know what they had those Rocket teams had the lowest. They were 6 seed when they won that second championship with Drexler. That's the lowest to ever win it as a 6 seed, and it was the Houston Rockets with Akeem Olajuwon. Shaq got smoked by David Robinson and Akeem Olajuwon in the 90s. Patrick Ewing beat him in the 90s. As soon as they all got old, that's when he started winning. He got the best shooting guard in the league on his team. All his championships include the first or second best shooting guard, did they not?
Mm-hmm.
He did not win a championship without the first or second best shooting guard in the whole league and after all the other centers were gone. All the other great centers were gone.
That's a big guy, though, y'all. The other day, when they showed him.
Oh, yeah. Did you see him against Barkley?
Yeah, Barkley. What a difference between night and day. And you're like, these guys would have matched up against each other every now and then.
Barkley bounced a basketball off Shaq's face.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Boom.
And you know the crazy thing about Barkley?
He didn't care.
Is
he averaged more.
Barkley he could rebound.
He averaged more rebounds.
Yes,
than Shaq
that's
did.
what I was fixing to say. Like, it's unbelievable how good of a rebounder he was.
Yeah, you sit here and tell me
he's 6'6".
This guy.
They say 6'7". I don't believe it.
No, they say 6'5".
What a difference.
He's actually 6'4", 6'5".
The other day they was all standing up, and I about flipped out. I said, "Look at the difference in these two men."
Shaq is a very much larger human being, and that's my thing about him is that, and the same thing with LeBron. Think about it. What move or what skill would you teach a kid to shoot like LeBron with that form?
No.
So what move? Okay, Jordan's got a fadeaway. Jordan take it to the rack and dunk. What is LeBron's best move? Bully ball to the rim and pass it out. Yeah. What's Shaq's best move? Bully ball to the rim
and slam it.
That's their only moves. And so, like, I get it. They're bigger and stronger. But to me, when you tell me somebody like Shaq is better than Akeem Olajuwon, it's like telling me the DH hitter David Ortiz is better than the Pujols who actually play the position. To me, it makes no sense to me. Akeem Olajuwon and David Robinson are better basketball players than Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq was bigger and harder to deal with, but in the 90s, he didn't win on them.
Mm-hmm.
When they retired and got old, that's when he started winning his championships with no other center in the league. And
people forgot how good Olajuwon was.
I'm not saying
Olajuwon had touch.
He was like 24, 12, and 3 for most of his career.
I would never say Shaq's not good. I'm just saying I think Olajuwon gets so underrated. It's not even funny. And that one kills me.
You could not defend the Dream Shake.
Right.
It was almost indefendable.
Well, here's what's funny about that.
Undefendable.
The series they talk about with Robinson and Akeem, Robinson still averaged like 25 and 12 on him.
Yeah.
But he gave up 30 and 12. So, like, that may have been the best, Terry, since, the Chamberlain-Russell days. Is that not the best center matchups maybe that we've had in the playoffs?
The athletic.
Yeah.
When's the next time we're going to have 2 centers combined for 60 and 30?
Only chance you got that is if Philadelphia plays Milwaukee.
Or
Embiid.
You
count Giannis as a center?
Yeah.
Or Embiid and Jokic.
That's what you got to.
You could do Embiid and Jokic maybe.
Yeah.
That would be
Embiid and Jokic come close.
That'd be close.
But neither one of them I don't think are the athletes.
I don't their bodies are different. They're more of the the Shaq bulky type.
Yeah. All right, so we got the playoffs this week. We'll talk about that next week. We'll have more. We'll have high school baseball to talk about next week. Where everybody's win. I guess the third round will be next Saturday, so we'll have 2 rounds to go over. Finish up some more NFL playoffs. Maybe Baker Mayfield will have a new home. By next week. We're talking more Major League Baseball and more. Any other things coming up on this week, guys? Have a happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Go buy some flowers, candy, whatever you need to do today. And so, all right. Well, we're going to call it a day here. I'm going to Zach, if you'll read the Shelby Heating and Everything one more time while I go find us some some playaway music and stuff.
We want to thank our sponsors today, Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call for your heating and cooling needs, 704-487-7877. Again, that's Shelby Heating and Air for all your heating and cooling needs. And we'll see you guys next week on Shock Joxx Sports Radio Talk Show, Saturday morning.